So it is day 10 in geometry. So I'm just going to label this worksheet. And it is, what is it, Wednesday?
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, January 29th. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do on this worksheet is I'm going to have us go through all these problems. And this is just for the sake of organization. I'm going to have us highlight all of the problems that are the same type of problem. So for number 1, we're talking about angles around a point. Angles that add up to 360 degrees. So I'm going to just highlight that in green. And I'm going to look through my worksheet packet and highlight all the other ones that say around a point. So if you like highlighters, there should be some at your tables. You could also use, I don't know, a symbol, a star, a circle, a square, whatever. So number 1 is around a point, 360 degrees. I'm going to flip to the next page. None there. Number 5 is around a point, 360 degrees. None on 6, none on 7, none on 8. Number 9 is around a point, 360 degrees. Number 10, 11, 12, 13.
I'm seeing the pattern.
Yeah, 13 is around a point, 360. 14, 15. 17 is around a point, 360 degrees. Okay, so I highlighted all of those in green, and that should be it. As you flip the page, it's the one on top. 1, 5, 9, 13, 17. That is all of those. Okay, let's start with the around a point problems. So, yesterday we talked about a lot of different types of angle relationships. We talked about complementary angles. Those are the ones that add up to 90 degrees. We did supplementary, add up to 180 degrees, that make the straight line. We talked about vertical angles, the ones right across from each other, equal to each other. We talked about a transversal. That's when that line goes through 2 lines that are parallel, and then it can create, what's that called? The angles that go together.
Like
Exterior.
1, 2, 3.
Yes. What was it called?
Interior, exterior, opposite angles or adjacent angles?
It starts with a C.
Complementary?
Not complementary. I know, I keep thinking that. Corresponding. Corresponding angles, okay? And we'll review all of that as we reach them. Most of them are going to be listed here in this worksheet packet. But let's talk about one that we have not talked about.
What did you call those?
Corresponding, yes. So we have not talked about angles around a point. And it's in parentheses, it's giving you a hint. Angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. So let's start number 1 by drawing a little picture. Let's see how many angles we have. And I'm going to kind of label them. I see angle A is x plus 55 degrees. So there's 1. Angle B is 310 degrees. So there's just 2 angles. So here's how I'm going to draw angles around a point. I'm going to start with a point. Okay, and I'm going to use black so everybody can see that a little better. So here's my point. Now my first angle is 310 degrees. That's a big angle. So we don't have to make it perfect or exact, but I'm going to start by putting a ray coming out of this middle point here. So I'm just going to put some sort of straight edge down, and I'm going to do that. Okay, so there's a ray somewhere in the middle-ish. Okay, and this is a little tricky. So I know from 0 all the way around my protractor to make a straight line. How many degrees is that? 180, 180. So it's going to be even more than 180. So I'm going to flip it around and over. And this one's kind of for fun. I'm not going to ever quiz you on how to draw these. We're mostly going to be solving. I just want to give us a visual. So we're going to flip it over. Now we're starting from 180. And I'm going to count up 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 310. Okay, so I am going to mark right here where my 310 degrees would be. And I'm going to draw a ray going through that dash and what is now my vertex. Now, it looks like we drew a small angle, doesn't it? But when we draw our arc, we'll be able to see that we actually drew an angle that's open so large that it is going past what we are used to seeing in a normal angle. So I'm going to draw my arc on the outside to show that this is the way it opened up from here to here. This is like a hyper extended angle. It's opened so big that it looks small. It's huge. And this, is this angle A or B? Ah, it's angle B. Angle B is 310 degrees. And we just drew that 310 degree angle. So I'm going to write here 310 degrees. And you could also label it B if you want. B equals 310. So what is this leftover angle?
X plus 55.
X plus 55, or angle A. So I'm going to put 2 arcs just to show that these have different measures. Not that you can't tell by looking at it, but I'm going to put 2 arcs, and then I'm going to label it with X plus 55 degrees, or A. Okay. So angles around a point is just like another relationship similar to complementary angles. 2 angles that add up to 90 degrees. Supplementary angles. 2 angles that add up to 180 degrees. Angles around a point are angles that add up to 360 degrees. So it's just a different number that we're setting them equal to. So angle A, whatever it is, when I add it to angle B, because they create a full rotation, they're going to add up to a total of 360 degrees. So I'm going to show you what that equation will look like. A plus B equals 360. Okay. Now, before I move a step forward, would anybody like more explanation about how I got this equation? Is anyone confused about this so far?
Because to me,
Okay, here, I'm gonna, okay, who's first?
you first.
Okay, didn't we get it from our word problem? Didn't we just get all this from the
Yes.
information we already have?
Yes, they told us it's angles around a point, and in the future, this will already be drawn for you.
Oh,
I'm just kind of showing you where it came from. So this is just, you know, a little extra practice. But in the future, this will already be drawn for you. You will just see 310 degrees and X plus 55 degrees. And we would know that these 2 angles add up to 360 degrees because the arcs are creating this circle here. You see that? In a circle, when we rotate a full rotation, that's 360 degrees. Because, let's look at this, a half circle is 180 degrees. What is 180 plus 180? 360. So a whole circle has to be 360, right? This is just being separated differently.
Okay, you got X plus 55.
Mm-hmm.
How does that come to 360? Because to me, it would come to 365.
You gotta set them equal.
So-
Ah.
So remember when we solve for x, x is not the measure of this missing angle.
Right, because
X doesn't have to be a positive number. Our angle A will add up to 310 to give us a full 360. Okay, let's go ahead and take these and plug them in. I think it will make more sense once we start replacing the A and the B, and it will make more sense. So how about we start by solving for angle A? How about we don't solve for X yet? Okay, so let's not replace A. Let's replace B. I know what angle B's measure is. It's 310 degrees. So A plus B is 310 equals 360. Yes, now to solve for A, we're just going to use our inverse operations. Minus 310 on both sides. Okay. My 310s will cancel. And what happens next?
A equals 50.
A equals 50 degrees. So angle A is 50 degrees. Okay, so here's 50 degrees. I know angle A is 50 degrees. Angle A is also x plus 55 degrees. So if 50 is equal to A and x plus 55 is equal to A, can I say 50 is equal to x plus 55?
Because x plus 55 equals 50.
Yes, we can. We can. Because now we need to solve for x, okay? So let's see what number I can put in for x to make sure that the answer to x plus 55, this has to be 50 because angle A is 50 degrees.
So
would have to
it
be negative
is.
5.
Yes. Does that make sense? Yep. Yep. Okay. So x plus 55 degrees, remember, whatever x is, when I add it to 55, it needs to be equal to 50 because angle A is 50 degrees. So x plus 55 is 50. What should I do to solve for x?
Subtract 50.
Subtract 50 or 55?
55.
55.
You gotta
Okay.
get X on the side.
Yes, we want to get x by itself. So, x equals negative 5. That's a tricky one to start with.
That is.
Could you just solve it by combining
Yes,
55?
yes.
The 310?
You could also do the way that you're saying, Michael. Let me show you guys the other way. Instead of just replacing B and solving for A, then setting Google A and blah, 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 we could just plug in like this. Let me write it out. So A plus B. A is x plus 55 plus B is 310
That's the way I would.
equals 360. Yes, you can 100% do it this way. So, what would we do here?
Combine 55 and
Combine my like terms. 55 plus 310 is what?
365.
365 equals 360. And what would my last step be?
Minus
365.
365.
Good. Minus 365 minus 365. So x equals negative 5. You get the same answer.
Yeah, I like that way better.
Yeah, and you know what? If you do it that way. That's perfect. That works just the same. Okay. Crazy stuff, guys. Okay. I'm gonna keep it. Gotta make sure y'all can see it. Now, as you guys are finishing kind of writing this workout, does anybody have other questions about this one in particular? And we're gonna do more. This was kind of a crazy one to start with.
It gets crazier.
It does. But the more we do, the better we get, and it doesn't feel as crazy the more we do it. Promise.
So the other equations will be the same, like, it'll be the same process, but we're just dealing with a different angle.
Yes. Yes. You're always either going to be adding them and setting them equal to whatever they tell you to, or you'll be setting them equal to each other if they tell you that as well. It'll just be based off of the angles that you're given. Yes.
So, how you know if he'll be adding subtraction because of what the problem says? Okay.
Yes, and as a rule of thumb, we're always either adding them or setting them equal.
All right.
Adding or setting equal. We're writing these equations. The only time we're going to be subtracting is if in the problem, like let's say it said x minus 55, then you'd be subtracting because it was given that it was minus. So that was the first one. That one was a lot. Let's do another. So let's flip the page to our next highlighted one. Uh-oh, they gave us 3 angles this time. Y'all, this might not have been nice of me, but sorry. Okay, how many, let's see. We have angle A. That's x plus 45 degrees. Angle B, I'm going to use colors this time. I think that would maybe help. B is 200 degrees. And C is 60 degrees. Okay. So, let's not worry about making our picture accurate at all. Let's try something. Let's make a little dot. Okay. And I know I have 3 angles total. We're going to draw a picture that is not to scale at all. Okay. I'm going to draw a ray coming out. And then I'm going to draw, I don't know, another one. And I'm going to say that's, I don't know, let's do that. And I'm going to call this angle A. Angle B. I made these angles very random sizes. This is not to scale at all. I'm just doing a quick drawing so that we can see that it's 3 angles. See? Okay, and I know A is x plus 45. B is 200. C is 60. Okay. Without using any of the numbers, just using A, B, C, what equation can I write about A, B, and C using the number 360?
X plus 45 plus 200 plus 660.
That is correct, yes. But again, that's a little bit step ahead of what I was asking, but that's okay. You're correct. So if I have A, B, C, and 360, you're correct, Mac. That's perfect. What would I write in between A, B, C, and 360? What goes between A and B? Plus B and C. Plus C and 360. Equals. These 3 angles, when I add them together, they give me 360 degrees. Okay, I'm just breaking it down. Y'all might be ahead of this, and I just want to make it as simple as possible in case, I know some of us weren't here yesterday and
Yeah,
you weren't, but you still know it, which is
No,
amazing.
I just figured it out.
No, you're doing amazing. So let's replace A, B, and C with the values they gave us. For A, we're gonna write
X plus
good, x plus 45 plus B is 200 plus C is 60 equal to 360. Amazing. And I'm going to make that plus sign black just for fun. Okay, so once we have our equation written out, before we go ahead to solving it, is anybody confused about where this equation came from? Star, does this make sense? Okay, you just look like you're in pain. Making sure you're okay over there. Okay, so now we have our equation. What should we do first? Yes, combine like terms. So we have 45, 200, and 60. We can add all those together. And what's that going to give us? 305. Good. So I'm going to cross them off because I added them up. 305. And what should I do next?
Bring down your X and equals.
Bring down my X, my equals, plus, thank you, 360. Now what?
Take 30, you have to get X by itself on one side.
Yes.
Minus 305.
Yes, 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 perfect. Minus 305. Good.
X equals 55.
55. Very good. Very good. Okay. Now, technically, you don't really even need the picture. If you just see the angles and say, okay, I know they're going to add up to 360. This was more just to
Visual.
a visual aid. So, you know, if it helps, feel free to do it. But, you know, if not, you don't have to. But, okay, let's do, here, I'll leave this. Does anybody still need this? Anybody have questions? Or can we do another one?
Another one.
Another one, okay. Let's see.
That one's good.
All right. This time, is it okay if we don't draw a picture?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
So,
Miss Taylor, what was her name? Keisha?
yes.
Oh, she let me use her charger and I still got it over there plugged up.
Oh.
Lord Jesus. And
Oh.
she's still here, she had to go.
I don't know. Oh,
Does anybody have her number?
I don't.
Oh.
I bet if you bring it tomorrow or
I'll keep
something.
it in my
Yeah.
backpack. I didn't take anything, I lose everything.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
I do the same kind of
Yeah, if
stuff.
I know my cherry well, girl, they lost another kid. I just paid $150 for another kid, and they lost my kid, get another $150.
Oh my
We might
goodness.
have to hotbar that. Is this too much? Ugh.
All right, so I've got angle A, 2x plus 20. Angle B, 110. Looks like a heart. And angle C, 130. So, if you think you know what the equation should be, tell me.
130 plus 110 plus 20 plus 2x.
Awesome. So it doesn't matter what order you put it in. Technically, you could do the A, the B, and the C, or you could do like Chance did. He did 130 first. 130 for C plus 110 for B plus. Did you do 20 first?
Yeah.
Yes. So we went ahead and moved our numbers around to keep our like terms together. Plus 20 plus 2x. It's okay if you did it like this. It's okay if the 130 was last. It's okay if the 2x was first. Whenever we're just adding things, you can rearrange them. It won't change your answer. Okay? Is anyone confused, though, about this order I wrote them in?
Yes. Why did you write that?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me write it the way that we would most likely see it. We would do A first. 2x plus 20 plus B plus 110 plus C plus 130. Okay, this is just a rearranged version because it's the way that it came together in Chance's brain, and it might be the way that it came together in your brain. In math, there's about 2 million different ways to solve every problem. This is one where you could rearrange it in so many different ways and you'll get the same answer. But this is probably the most common way it will be written. 2x plus 20, because that's first.
Because you're adding them. so it
Yes.
doesn't matter.
Yep, we just rearranged it, like, here was our angle C, here was our angle B, and then angle A, we just flip-flopped the 20 and the 2x. It's the same thing, just rearranged. But we'll do it this way. What is it equal to? 360. Good. Okay. So, now we have our equation.
Minor liking.
Combine your like terms. Okay. So, what are my like terms?
260. Oh, 130, 110.
Thank you. 130, 110, and 20. And that gives us what when we add them? 260. So I'm going to cross them off because I'm done with them.
Plus 2x.
Yes, and I've got my 2x still that I'm going to bring down. 2x plus 260 equals 360.
Subtracting both sides.
Good. Subtract from both sides. Minus 260. Minus 260.
Equals 100.
Uh-huh. 2x equals 100.
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2.
50.
Yeah. I told y'all it would start getting fun. Okay.
Getting back to that algebra.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I always go back to is
So
algebra.
x equals 50. I know, that's why they have you take it before geometry. Because imagine trying to figure out all these concepts and learning how to solve an equation.
The
Ugh,
impossibility is next
that's a headache. Awesome. X equals 50. Okay. 13 and 17. I'm going to set some time. I want to see if y'all can do these on your own. Okay? I want to see if you can do it. Number 13 and number 17. See if you can do it. I'm going to pause our recording for a moment. We'll go. So number 13, let's look at it.
I hope I did it right.
Let's write our equation. This one's tricky. What should we start with?
150
Okay, so Chance, you decided to start with 150.
plus 60 minus 30 plus 3x.
Ooh. Whew. So Chance combined some of the like terms in his head, which is wonderful. Now, let's do it from left to right in case I was never good at mental math, and so especially since this is the first day we're looking at all these crazy things. Let's go just from A to B to C. So instead of writing A plus B plus C, what am I writing?
X plus 60
Okay, x plus 60
plus 150
plus 150
plus 2x
plus 2x
minus 30
minus 30 equals 360. This is a long one. So, now we're going to do what we've been doing. We are combining like terms. So let's see. Let's see.
is negative 30. I just typed
Yeah, we have 60
50.
and we have minus 30. So here, let me circle all the like terms. Okay, so 150 plus 60 minus 30 is what? 180. Yes. So I have 180. And what are my other like terms?
X and 2x.
X and 2x. So x plus 2x equals what? 3x. So now I'm just going to rewrite the rest of my equation. I've got 3x plus 180 equals 360. Is everybody with me? Does everybody feel good about how we got to this point? 3x plus 180 is 360. Yay. Okay, what do we do next?
Divide by 3 on each.
Divide by 3 already?
No,
Ah.
Minus 180.
Yes, minus 180.
I completely forgot.
That's okay. That is okay. So minus 180 on both sides. And that's going to give us 3x equals what?
180.
180. Now,
Divide by 3.
divide by 3. Good. And that gives us x equals what? 60. Now, actually, I don't know if it's degrees, but it's 60. It's 60. I guess it would be degrees. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Would you ever mark us off on it as if we didn't put the degree symbol or, okay.
No. Nope. I always encourage it. Please do use the degree symbol, but in general, you know, if I see that you're doing the math correctly, that's more what I'm worried about. So, good question though. All right, guys. That was number 13. Any questions about that? Okay. You want to power through 17 real quick? Or how about this? Before we power through 17, we've been doing a lot of angles around a point. Let's peek at what the exit ticket is. Let's flip to the back page and make sure that we remember how to do vertically opposite angles and the supplementary angles. Okay? So I want to give you guys a little bit of a help on number 19. So first of all, what are vertically opposite angles?
They're angles
They're the ones that-
opposite.
They're just angles that are opposite of each other. It would typically look something like this. And we'd be talking about the angles that are right across from each other. Now, what do we know about vertical angles?
The ones directly opposite are exactly the same.
Yes, they have the same measure. They are equal to each other. So, if this is angle A and this is angle B and A is equal to B,
A equals B.
A equals B. Okay, now this time we're not setting anything equal to a new number. We're not adding things up to get to a new number. We just have A equals B. So that's the hint I'll give you. Use your value for A, use your value for B, and figure out what X is. Now, given this information, is anyone completely lost? Okay, okay. As you're trying to work that out, if you got questions, you can ask. And then real quick, number 20, supplementary angles, angles that add up to 180 degrees. What does that kind of look like?
A plus B equals 180.
Yep, A plus B is 180. So it's kind of the same thing as 360, just we're using 180 instead. And optional, you could draw a picture. You don't have to. I don't know which one's going to be. Well, let's do this. We'll do X plus 25 for A, and then B 3X plus 75. B. Okay, so there's just some pictures to help, but for day 10, that's today, this is your exit ticket, just to do number 19 and 20 on this packet. So I'm going to circle that and label it, and we're going to write day 10 exit ticket. You are welcome to do it on this packet. You are also welcome to do it on a separate piece of paper if you're wanting to keep the packet. However, I should have these back to you tomorrow by class time. But if you want to take them home with you. You know, you could also rip off this page or whatever. As long as your work is in the bin, I don't mind how you give it to me. So this is the day 10 exit ticket, and it is due Friday, January 31st at noon. Okay. Perfect. Okie dokie. I guess that's it, guys. I don't want to yap while you're working on the exit ticket, so I think I'm not going to teach anymore. I think I'm going to be quiet. So I'm going to end the video there. And I think, I don't know, I think I might have recorded the fire drill. But, okay. Anyway, that is all. Feel free to work on that exit ticket. If you have questions, please let me know. I am happy to help. The end.